Give me all of the top.
Okay, we can get you all to take your seats. We can get ready for this historic moment. And do not forget the t-shirts. So if you'd like to purchase a t-shirt, right back, wave your hand, girls. Oh, you look so good. Good job. Okay, and welcome, Golden Line supporters. Welcome to this historic event for the 2024 Back-to-Back SWAC Champions. And now we're here to go a little higher and a little further. Is that right, guys? Yeah. All right. So we're here for the Men's Golf Selection Show watch party. Did you enjoy the food? Okay. All right. So the party is not over. Okay, the party is not over. Just getting started. Okay? Thank you for coming. And Chancellor Alexander will be coming with his remarks, and Ron Marbley and Cameo Stokes will be giving you the additional information of how the selection process is and what we're watching for and how everything's going to turn out. Okay? So we appreciate you coming. And not only that, but I'd like to throw it out again to the SWAC Coach of the Year. How many times? 4 or 5? 5. I want him to say 5. He's so modest. Okay, but Coach Todd, we're so proud of you, and we're so proud of the team also. It's such a nice group of guys. I just love them. Yeah, I love them. Okay, well, thank you for coming, and now we'll have Chancellor Alexander come in with his remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon. And welcome to our annual golf selection show. And we are delighted that you are here with us. For this is another in a series of historic days and moments at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And we are here, first and foremost, to recognize and honor the best golf team in the SWAC. And the best coach several times over in the SWAC. Coach Scott, there must be a formula there somewhere. Well, can somebody say dynasty? Okay, that's our dream. That's our, no pressure. No pressure, guys. That's our dream. We can dream, but you make us proud. Oh my goodness. When you talk about the pride of the Golden Lion, you're talking about the SWAC champions. The very essence of pride in this university. So thank all of you for coming and sharing in this great event. And we appreciate, on behalf of the golf team and the Department of Athletics, the support that you give to this university. It is so important. You have shown your support just by showing up today, by taking time out of your schedule to come and show this team how much you care and love what they have accomplished and want to celebrate with them. Thank you all for coming. I got a question for you. Who are you rooting for? 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 Thank you. Yeah.
It's hard to speak off a speech like that from the Chancellor. But while we're here, Coach Totten, the team, staff, Coach Mill, we want to say thank you. Thank you for winning, because when you win, we all win. So we're behind you 100%. From the fans, supporters who couldn't be here, to supporters here on YouTube, streaming, watching it now. We represent you guys. I want to say thank you. Chancellor, you mentioned something about dynasty. Annual. I looked at the 2023-24 calendar. In my head, I'm thinking 24-25 calendar. We may go and put that date on there for another selection day. What you think, Coach? All right, just want to talk about some of the accolades that the program has done, and Coach Totten, we want to say thank you for putting us on that platform. When you think about it, We say back-to-back, but they're 4 times SWAC champions. They won it back-to-back in the fall, and they won it back-to-back in the spring. That's never been done in the SWAC. Then we also talk about dynasty. 5-time Coach of the Year. I did some research. And from my knowledge, as of right now in the SWAC, never been done. 5-time Coach of the Year. Consecutive Coach of the Year. Then you look back, this is the 2nd year in a row that UAPB won the Low Medalist Award. We won it last year, and we won it this year. We also had Freshman of the Year last year and this year. So give them applause for that. We have an athlete who won Low Medals of the Year. He was Freshman of the Year and first team All-SWAC, Jose Castle. We have another athlete that was Freshman of the Year and also was first team All-SWAC, Isabel Garcia. Then we have another athlete, Jules Deroux, who's named All-SWAC 2nd team. Please stand. But it's not just about the individual awards, guys. You guys supported each other. We see you guys on campus, going to the cab, walking the campus, interacting with the students. And I want to say you all are winners. Now let's talk about team accomplishments. The Golden Lions won the Bridgestone Invitational HBCU earlier this year. And when they went in, it was a lot of competition. It was big talk about the Howards, the North Carolina A&Ts. Good programs, but they know the Lions were coming. So we went down there, won the tournament. By winning that Bridgestone Invitational, they sent their film crew here to showcase our campus. Not only just that, the Golden Lions were flew out to California and participated in the Bridgestone Invitational. It gets some of the best teams in the country. Not just that, the Golden Lions will also be introduced to the state capitol tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for the first state game. Now here's the thing, Coach, this is a good problem. You got the selection show where you got the NCAA tournament that's coming up. But then you also have been invited to the PGA Minority Collegiate Invitational in Florida. So we want to ask everybody, I want to tell you thank you, continue to support the Golden Lions. The fans that you know that's not here, tell them to support financially with NIL deals, support with the program. So Coach, we want to say thank you. Hey, good luck. We're going to close out the presentation for just a second. We're going to start our selection show. And after that, then we'll have a remark from Coach Todd, and then we'll close it out with interviews.
Switch.
No, I was trying to make it, honestly, I was honestly trying to make it. I had to look. That's still a good shot, though.
What gun?
Probably the land
Chunk
on.
it runner, just chunk it under
Down
the
slow. Now get greedy.
Oh! No, she passed Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. You passed Collins.
All right, Billy.
You and me, bud.
Oh, might have done it first try. He did.
Did.
Nice.
Nice, Billy.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, that's close.
Nice ball.
Wait,
Thank you.
that was well done.
Thank you very
That was
much.
really well
I
done.
appreciate it. Letting the old guy win is very nice of you guys.
yeah.
I won.
The Gators should have won this challenge. I mean, it's only right.
The tour moves from New Orleans to Dallas, where Jason Day looks to defend his 2023 title at the CJ Cup. Byron Nelson.
This is only one of 2 current PGA Tour events named after a former player.
The CJ Cup, Byron Nelson at TPC Craig Ranch.
My first PGA Tour event as an amateur World Series, so this tournament means a lot to me.
Back-to-back winner of CJ Cup, Byron Nelson.
2021 and 2022, a lot of good memory here.
Jason Day won last year's CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, which he'll defend.
To go through what I went through and to be able to be in the winner's circle is very pleasing.
Golf Central, brought to you by Callaway Golf.
The goal for every team at the beginning of the season is to reach the NCAA championships. Today, we'll tell you which programs have earned that opportunity. Last year, Florida swept the men's golf championships with both team and individual national titles. Which one of 81 schools will have the chance to do the same in 2024? And with that, welcome into the Men's NCAA Golf Championships Selection Show. Wynn Watson with you. A big day for these programs, the players, the coaches, their families, as they take the next step towards the NCAA Division I National Championships later this month. So here is what we are revealing today. 81 teams heading to 6 regions around the country. 2 regionals in the Southeast, 2 more in California, the final 2 in Texas and Indiana. 13 or 14 teams in each region, with 5 from each region advancing to the NCAA championships at the end of May. Some detail on the field. In addition to the teams, either 5 or 10 individuals from teams that did not qualify will also be sent to each region. 30 teams got automatic bids for winning their conference tournaments. 51 additional teams added by the NCAA committee. 5 teams out of each region advanced to the NCAA championships, which will begin May 24th. And for the first time, those championships will be held at Omni La Costa Resort and Spa's North Course in Carlsbad, California. So let's get to the esteemed panel. Jim Gallagher Jr., All-American at the University of Tennessee, a 5-time PGA Tour winner. Steve Burkowski, our college guru on Golf Channel. Golf Channel writer Brentley Romine also covers the college game. Jim, let's start with you. This has been a long season starting back in September. The men's championship seems to be a little more wide open now than we thought in the fall. Why is that?
Well, I think these teams have stepped up. I mean, everybody would have said in the fall, North Carolina, Vandy, and they did. They had great falls. But you look at a team like Auburn, they've won, what, 5 in a row? They're playing well. The SEC has so many good teams. It's as solid as it's been. Arizona State wins the Pac-12. Texas wins the Big 12. Florida State's a solid team. I mean, you can go down the line, and I think it's just hard to believe we're back here another year later. But there's a lot of teams that have stepped it up. But first, you got to get out through the regionals.
Burko Greyhawk Golf Club in Scottsdale hosted the NCAA championships 3 years in a row, the last 3 years. Omni La Costa now in Carlsbad, California. So a different challenge this year.
It certainly is, Whit. I believe that's part of the reason, to Jim's point, that this year's field is wide open. There is no track record. This is a golf course these players just haven't seen. It's undergone a major restoration, renovation, so there's no blueprint. There's no prior experience to lean into that might help you, as we saw in years 2 and 3 at Greyhawk. Now, some schools have scheduled events in that part of the country to maybe just get a feel of the weather, the grasses, but I think with a clean slate at La Costa, that can open up the possibilities just a bit more.
Finally, Brentley, a new ranking system in place this year for college golf. Did it affect what the committee typically does?
Well, every year it always does, but the question each and every year is how much of the rankings do they take into account? Do they go straight off the numbers like the women's committee did last week, or do they move some teams around the bubble in and out like we see with college basketball? Talking to the committee this morning, the theme was no stone left unturned. So what does that mean for the Power Fives, like a South Carolina who's anticipating their best player coming back from injury, or even some of the mid-majors on the number? Can Florida Gulf Coast avoid being one of the first teams left out for the second time in 4 years? All those answers, we're going to find out the answers to over the next hour.
So let's get to it. Revealing now the 6 #1 seeds in 2024. The top overall seed is Auburn, champions of the SEC. They're going to Baton Rouge. Vanderbilt is the top seed in West Lafayette. Arizona State is the #1 seed in Rancho Santa Fe, California. North Carolina will host and be the top seed in Chapel Hill. Tennessee is #1 seeded in the Austin region. And Florida State is the final #1. They'll be the top seed at Stanford. So, Brentley, your thoughts on what we just saw there, the #1 seeds?
Well, Tennessee, their hot play at the SEC championship moves them into a 1 seed at the last minute, bumps out Ole Miss, and bumps Florida State all the way over to the Stanford Regional. But Trey Jones and his squad used to that. They're very comfortable over there. They were also in California last year, finished third. They've actually advanced every time they've been sent out west since 2017. So still good news for the Seminoles there.
Let's start our look now at the 81 teams making up the field for the men's NCAA championships. First, to the University Club in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, home of the LSU men's and women's golf programs. Golf course designed by LSU alum David Toms takes advantage of the wetlands. Water in play throughout the 18 holes. So the #1 seed in Baton Rouge is the overall #1 seed, the Auburn Tigers. The Tigers just rolling through the Southeastern Conference on their way to the conference championship. Freshman Jackson Coyban also won the individual SEC title. Auburn has won its last 5 events and have won 8 tournaments this season. So let's get back to the panel here. Thoughts about Auburn, the #1 team in this tournament?
Well, they've played some great golf lately. When you look at them, they've won 5 in a row, as I've mentioned. I think you look at the spring the most of. They've got 9 individual champions this season. They're 145, 4-1, so they've only lost 4 times. Worst finish of the whole year, 3rd. So they're playing some great golf. They deserve the #1. Coach Klinar's done a great job, Coach Williams. But they got Buddy Alexander there as well as a coach. He's won a national championship in Florida, so maybe that's a big plus for him. LSU golf course, there's a lot of movement on those greens. It could depend if it's wet with the weather, but they're well deserving. Auburn is #1 for a reason, and that's those 5 wins in a row. They've had a great year, especially this spring.
A deep team, Brentley, a good mixture here of veterans and younger players.
Yeah, and I'm going to focus on 2 of those young star freshmen that Coach Kleinard has. Jackson Coyban, I think the favorite right now for the Player of the Year for the Haskins Award, won the SECs by 6, has 8 straight finishes, a 4th or better. But then Josiah Gilbert, a South African, didn't get into the starting lineup until the last event before conference, finishes 5th there, goes 3-0 at Sea Island, beats Gordon Sargent of Vanderbilt in the clinching match in the championship. And I think Kleiner has to really love where his freshmen are at. And looking at this regional, I think he really likes how things shake up for his squad. Yes, they have the 7th seed LSU at home, but of the top 10 seeds not named Auburn, none of them won conference championships with, and none of them finished better than 4th at their respective conference championships. So I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying get that toilet paper ready again over there in Toomer's Corner here in about a week and a half.
Very good Toomer's Corner reference. And before we get to the rest of the field, Burko, your thoughts about Auburn as a deserving overall #1?
Well, what you just documented, their resume, as good as any this past season in men's college golf. And through all the years of covering this part of the game, to me, they could be arguably the most underrated #1 team in the country we have seen. To Jim's point at the top of the show, we've talked Vandy, we've talked North Carolina, and rightfully so. If I'm Auburn and head coach Nick Kleiner, I want everyone else to keep talking about everyone else. Just let us go about our business. They have done it so well this year. Let me clean something up for Jimmy. Buddy Alexander won 2 national titles at Florida, not just 1.
We will come
back. Gator would say that.
This is going to be fun for the next hour. We will come back and fill out the rest of that region in just a moment. For now, we're going to continue on to the second region of the day. We head to the state of Indiana, the Burke Boilermaker Golf Complex in West Lafayette, home to the Purdue golf programs. Previously hosted both the men's and women's NCAA championships. Championship Hampton-Kosler course designed by Pete Dye. So the teams coming to West Lafayette with Vanderbilt as the top seed. The Arizona Wildcats are the 2. The defending national champions from Florida are the three, despite losing 3 of their best players from a year ago. New Mexico, the 4 seed, they're an at-large out of the Mountain West. The team that won the Mountain West is San Diego State, and they are also going to Indiana as the 6. And one of the last teams in the field was Colorado State, and they are the 11th seed here. So the top seed here is Vandy. The Commodores, one of the preseason favorites to make a run at a national title. They lost to Auburn in the SEC Finals on Sunday. Still, though, a team led by veterans Cole Sherwood, William Mole, and 2022 individual national champion Gordon Sargent. And with that, we're going to welcome in Vanderbilt's head coach Scott Limbaugh to the Selection Show. Another strong season, Coach. Another #1 for the Commodores. Your initial thoughts about heading to the Midwest and that path to the NCAA championships?
Well, thanks a lot. We're certainly thrilled and excited that the committee would think of us as a #1 seed. And I love that golf course at Purdue. Was fortunate enough to be there for the 2008 national championship when I was at Alabama. And I do know it's a very demanding test, and that they've made some changes to it. But from what I understand, it'll reward great, tough teams.
Scott, when I take a look at your roster, I see a team that is built to win it all in 2024. What are some of the takeaways you have after the SEC's falling to Auburn in the championship match concerning your squad moving forward?
Yeah, I don't think there's a high level of concern, Burko. I mean, we gave ourselves a chance versus the #1 team in the country, and we might have been a little careful on that final day. And we just got to keep learning to be in those moments and kind of taking what you think is yours, because that's what Auburn did in that match. And I tip our hats to Nick and his team. They played outstanding all week, but we really like our team, and I like the steps that we're taking, and I definitely know our guys are super excited and enthusiastic to get this NCAA tournament underway.
Scott, you mentioned knowing the Lafayette, knowing the golf course at Purdue. What will you do to prepare your team? How will you, because you've played most of your matches or your tournaments down in the South, how will you prepare them if the weather gets bad up there?
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, Jim, the weather's not perfect in Nashville the entire year. It is most years. So we played a little bit of bad weather. It's only 4.5, 5 hours up the road. So believe it or not, I'm also one of those coaches that if the weather's bad, I tend to like us to play on those days. So we'll be fine in the weather. Our guys are used to playing in the elements, and I think that just helps build the fibers of your team and the fibers of your competitive character. So, see a lot of great teams with great coaches. The host school's a great team with a coach that I respect a lot. So we'll have to be ready to compete, that's for sure.
Coach, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's take one more look at the teams in that region. West Lafayette, as we mentioned earlier, top 5 from each region advance to the NCAA championships. So one thing to keep an eye on as we move along is where the host team in each region is seeded. Purdue is the 5 seed here, so playing at home, it gives them a pretty good chance to advance. Let's go back to you, Jim. I liked the point you just made about the weather. There are a lot of southern and western teams that have to head to maybe unfamiliar regions, and obviously you think that could be a factor.
It could be a factor. Another thing to factor in, and Coach Limbaugh just touched on that, is also the grasses. It's a completely different grass that a lot of these teams see. The southern teams see Bermuda grass. Some of them do put on bent, not very often. So it's a completely different grass up there, and that's another thing to throw into the equation. But the weather could be fine. But if you do get some cold weather, who will be the teams that can adjust to that? Because there's some southern teams, even the western teams, maybe not playing in some of the weather. But I think grass, as much as anything, will be as big a factor.
In case it wasn't obvious earlier, Burko is a Florida graduate. What is the path for Florida to get back to match play and perhaps defend their title?
Well, when you talked about it a short time ago, they lose 3 All-Americans from that national championship team a season ago. I, for one, thought it could be a lean year in Gainesville. And this past fall, it was. They didn't play any good, to be quite honest. And that's according to J.C. Deacon, their head coach, who I spoke with earlier today. He said it's the best thing that could ever happen during the offseason, winter break. They bonded, they came together. He says they're the hardest working team he has ever had. The Gators have won 4 times this spring season, showed a lot in Vegas, although they didn't win. A very strong field competing with many of the nation's best. He said while they're constructed differently, he does believe there's something special brewing and a good chance to get through regionals and ultimately back to match play at the national championships.
And let us go back to Baton Rouge and finish out that region. The teams competing with Auburn, which is the overall #1 seed in the tournament. LSU is hosting at their facility, the home of the men's and women's golf program, the University Club. Southeast that's making the trip to Baton Rouge, and the host team, as mentioned, LSU, will be the 7th seed. And we touched on these teams earlier, but Steve Murkowski, you had your eye on Jack Nicklaus's alma mater, which is in this region.
I did indeed, with the 6th seed Ohio State Buckeyes. I think they have the potential to get out of that region. Neil Shipley, what a month it has been for him. Low amateur at the Masters tournament, continued to play well at the Big Ten championships. I think the X factor for Ohio State is Maxwell Moldovan. He's an All-America type caliber player, but admittedly hasn't had his best year. And as a senior, you know he wants to go out on a high note. So if he can find his form, and if Neil Shipley can continue his, I think that 1-2 punch might be enough for head coach Jay Mosley.
We'll be stepping aside for just a moment, revealing more of the regions. Just had a chance to chat with the Vanderbilt head coach, and Gordon Sargent has said that he's coming back to school. The rest of the Commodores, they are running out of eligibility. Maybe the last chance for Cole Sherwood and William Mall to lead this talented team to a national championship. We have 4 regions to go as the selection show continues.
All right, so that concludes where we're going, Coach. Going to the booth. All right. So we want to hear from the man himself, 5 consecutive Coach of the Year in the SWAC, Roger Tye.
Wow. One day we do see we're going to play against the #1 team in the nation. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. First thing I want to thank everyone for coming out today. I really do. It means a lot. We have support. It means a lot. It really does. Today is a great day to be online. One of the great days was shown all over the world. Everyone watched this time. You know. You know. I'm very happy today. but I'm not happy for me.
That's it.
I'm happy for first my family. You always have support me. Second, I'm happy for this great university. You know, as I walk this campus every day, I see students and hard-working people who have a passion for this university and love for it. They honor me to go out and work and do the things that we do. I'm happy for the city of Pine Bluff. This was a crazy year and nobody did nothing wrong. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm happy for the city of Pine Bluff because we are a team. Without the city of Pine Bluff, we would not be a UAPB. So I'm very proud of that. Because we are one big team. Why? Because when one win, we all win. I'm very proud of these young men. These young men, young men. Time. We are part of this foundation program, which is that. Let me say a little bit about that in this program. These things were different. If you're not going to go to class and do that, you're not going to be a part of this program. Period. Attitude. You got to have a great attitude. You got to be positive all the time. Regardless of the situation, you got to be positive. And have a good attitude. Sacrifice for sacrifice. Sacrifice. You gotta understand one thing. It's not about you. It's about the team. If you're not about the team, you're not gonna be a part of this team. And that is for hard work. If you have to put in the work. If you want to be a champion, you gotta work. Without doubt. You gotta do that. Now we are very excited about this opportunity. One of the bedroom family, the number one team in the nation. So I want to say everyone in this room, everyone who listening, on May 13th, they call everyone's name out on stage. You see Johnny, we're going to call it University All-Star Pound. We're going to take that stage with pride. That's it. We're going to take that stage with the line on our heart, knowing that this season camp is depending on getting a good reputation. Right. We don't know worry about the outcome. Right. We're worried about being proud. To be a golden line. That's it. Being proud of conduct. And they know that you everything you want to do. They're kind of pound up. And we're good here now. Always through that list. You kind of pound up anything you want to be. Right. And that's the key to the whole thing. We are one big family putting together. When one win, I cannot tell you enough. When one win, we all win. And I close on this, as you might notice, when they put on the screen, they did not put China and Mother. They said the universe also and Palm. And that's us. That's us. So we are going to try. All the awards do not say China nowhere. It said the universe also and Palm. I'm very proud of this universe because I've been running this town for a long time. Talk about the city of Palm Bluff. I live in the city now right over 30 years. A lot of great people are being playing for life. So this is a great city. I'm saying that for you. This is a great city. This is a part of a great university. And again, thank you very much for coming out. And go Lions!
Once again, let's give the golf team and Coach Todd and Coach Smith a round of applause. We'd like to thank everybody for coming out. We also want to definitely thank Chancellor, Dr. Chancellor Alexander, SWB Anthony, and also, let's take a step back. The head coach, Ms. Todd, stand up. You want to watch a lot of golf channels, don't you? All right, we'd definitely like to thank everybody for coming out, and this concludes our selection show, and we'll be doing interviews with Coach Todd, and once again, go Lions.
All right.
Because she don't have a direction. But Tim Beasley, who's over there, he can sign it.
So he can sign it.
Yeah.
That's
Is that for tonight?
No, so this is for the girlfriend. They was come over with the university and they were part of our partnership. So they
Get it with the mayor's office. Rhonda Hall.
Okay.
That's her name. But they don't have a direction. But they can do whatever you need. Because I've already told them about the AD have reached out to me and did something for the athletes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.